Hello guys, so I'm really sorry that I didn't make a video again. Let's just say I'm really sorry, okay? I'm really sorry that I didn't make a video last time because I was busy with school, especially with a little project and also a project that's also probably gonna come either way, like in the next month or so. But either way, let's continue on with this episode. So, hello guys, I am back from another video today talking about what if Deku was in High School DxD. So in the last week we talked about how, after arriving back at school, you, just some normal shit, mostly talking to his classmates about what they're gonna be doing, for summer. And apparently, Izuku is finally, going to the little, vacation spot, or, the private island that they're planning to go to. That is where they're gonna be having their vacation, which is, summer. And also, by the way, it's also summer for them. And meanwhile, we also saw, not really a battle, but more like a one-sided beatdown, from Dracul and also, Catherine. And Catherine is getting the, shit kicked out of her, really badly. And so, after a while, she has to basically feel the absolute pain of basically being impaled, and, because she can't die in this world, or at least this pocket dimension, well, it means that she, has to endure the pain. Oh boy. And she would basically, be told if she doesn't comply to, jump cool, well, she would basically, feel this pain absolutely forever, and never have to, and never be able to basically get out of here. And so, she would be left there basically to feel the absolute pain of those, spears. So, wait for a second, my notes. So, as we go back to Izuku, and after, getting ready for the trip, Izuku is basically preparing with everybody else also getting ready as well, as he would basically, invite both Kitase and Murayama. But not only that, apparently, well, last time, or at least sort of like last time, or a little flashback, apparently, Izuku's parents were basically meeting up with, with Surges, but not only that, Mr. and Mrs. Phoenix, as they were, as they would basically request for, Ravel to basically join in their little vacation. Mostly because they want her to basically, try and convince Izuku that the Phoenix are not as bad. Riser! What did I say? But either way, after, a bit of convincing, they would decide to do so. And so their plan to basically get, forgiveness from Izuku, and also probably to, marry off, Ravel to Izuku, well, would basically commence. Or at least soon to commence. So, after that, they would start getting ready to basically leave to go to, to the private island. But, meanwhile, we also go back to, Catherine and also Dracul. As Dracul would basically tell her if she wants to, live on and also no longer have to suffer the absolute pain of those spears basically impaling her, well, she will have to serve Izuku as a sort of second familiar. Or, a sort of servant of hers. Or at least servant of his. And so she would decide to do so, mostly because she absolutely hates this. And so, after that, she would basically, become Izuku's servant, or at least soon-to-be servant. So, after, going into the, limousine, well, the limousine is definitely, small, but not as small as, regular, cars or anything of the sort. But, on the inside, it's basically about the size of a freaking mansion. So, yeah. So, and after a bit of, explanation of how, how their, cars basically like this, well, apparently, his father, aka, Asashi, aka Akechi, is actually part freaking Oni. And if you don't know, Onis in, Japanese mythology are not only really strong in the physical sense, they're also strong in the more, magical sense, which, most Onis are actually pretty, good in, making illusions and shit. But not only, not as powerful as let's just say, a female Oni, which are basically just, super proficient in that type of shit. And so, well, because he's considered as a great, warrior and things of that shit, well, you can already imagine how strong he is. Like, he's not at the same level as, like, a high level, like, female Oni with her ability to basically use magic, but it's definitely close to that. And so, after, getting ready to leave, they would start, teleporting to where the island is. And so, that's where we basically ended off the episode. And so, let us talk about what happens next, ladies and gents. So, they're currently, driving through like a magical portal or something, as Izuku would say this. So, Dad, he would say, as his dad would just basically be on the wheel, as he would say this. Yeah, Izuku, he would say, as he would say this. So, how does this thing actually work, he would say, as he would say this. Oh, that's your mom thing. That's your mom's thing. It's actually powered by runes and also some of my magic. Or at least, most of it, at least, he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. So, Mom, as she would say this. Oh, a bit of room magic and also, well, let's just say a little bit of my touch, she would say. As she would start, having a sadistic smile. As he would say this. Yeah, I'm actually not gonna, talk about it, he would say. As after saying that, she would close the door of the, of the driver's seat. Or at least the driver's, like, side. As he would start looking at the others. As for the others, everybody else is basically, talking to each other. And also, Katase and Moriyama would decide to show everybody, their Kagane, which were, for, Katase, she seems to be having, Ukaku, as in, the wing thing. As her, Ukaku almost resembles, like, kind of resembles, like, a bit of, like, butterfly wings, but they also kind of resemble, like, dragonfly wings as well. And as for, Moriyama, she seems to have a, Kaukaku, as it seems to resemble a large katana. Like, just imagine something of this sort. The Colossus, that specific Colossus that literally has, like, a sword that's basically stuck to it. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Or was it more like a club? Because it's not actually like a freaking sword where it basically slashes. It's more like, just say basically like a blunt object. Just imagine that type of Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus, or at least I think that's the. I don't really remember what's the actual name of it, but it's basically the one that has basically it has like one arm and is basically attached to, or at least basically binded to its weapon. Yeah, that's basically what it is, or at least what it looks like. So yeah, just imagine that, but except it's basically a katana. As all of them would just be in shock, as Izuku would say this. So that's your Kagane, he would say. As one of them would say this. Yeah, and it's actually kind of cool, said, Moriyama, as she would start, trying out her wings. As Katase would say this. Yeah, look. As she would start, swinging her blade. As he would say this. Huh. Well, at least try not to, do anything drastic with it. And besides, you're still pretty new to it, so at least try and, well, listen to me first. And also, try not to, use them in public. For obvious reasons, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically, Moriyama. Oh, sure, she would say, as she would float down, as, or, her, Kagane would basically disappear. Including, Katase as well. As her, Kaukaku would basically disappear as well. As he would say this. Alright guys, it's gonna be taking a few, minutes for them to basically, get there, or at least before we can get there. So I think it's better for all of us to just, like, have a bit of fun, he would say. As one of them would say this. Specifically, a somewhat, excited, Issei. As Issei would say this. Ooh, I know, she would say. As Izuku would say this. What is it, he would say. As she would say this. Well, maybe when we get there, maybe we should play a game, she would say. As he would say this. What game exactly, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, I know, said, as said a somewhat, well, perverted-faced, Issei, as she would say this. Well, I've been wondering to play a bit of poker, she would say. As he would say this. Why do I have the feeling that it's going to be a bad idea, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, don't worry, besides, we're just going to be playing, we're just going to be playing that later. But for now, let's play this, she would say. As she would basically send down a pack. As Izuku and the rest would basically look at it. As Saji would say this. And yeah, Saji's in this as well, because I forgot about that. Well, some of the members of of the student council, aka Saji, Momo, and what is her name? Yeah, Tsubaki are basically there. As Saji would say this, Cards Against Humanity, he would say. She would say this. Yeah, I actually found it online, she would say. As she would say this. Oh yeah, that game, he would say. As one of them would say this. Wait, you know this? Said, a pretty much, curious, well, a curious, Sona, as he would say this. Yeah, let's just say it's an interesting game to say the least. Basically, there's like several like sentences, and you have to, and in the sentences there are blanks, and with these blanks you use a card to basically finish the sentence. Like for example, let's just say um, my baby's carrying a blank or something, and the way that you have to win each round with these cards is using a card, and you have to make the sentence either absolutely, funny or absolutely, well, or so inappropriate that, that you either win or lose. And the most inappropriate or funniest would become the winner, he would say. As one of them would say this. That sounds kind of fun, she would say. Specifically, Akeno. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, I'm definitely not joining in, he would say. As, Saji would say this. Come on, it might be fun, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, fun for you, but it would probably be horrible, he would say. As one of them would say this. Come on, join, she would say. Specifically, Issei. As he would say this. Fine, he would say. As after doing so, they would start to play. Hours later. As one of them would say this. Oh my god, why? Said, a pretty much, disgusted, Izuku. As Sachi would say this. Come on, it was my best one, he would say. As it would say, as the sentence would say, I put my inner demons inside the boat. Oh, God. And just imagine Izuku's face. Just imagine Izuku's disgusted face. As the devils, meanwhile, are basically like laughing their asses off. Except for, for obvious reasons, You can probably guess some of them. As Sona would say this. Alright, I think it's better to stop, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Agreed, he would say. As, some other cards would say some other, well, concerning things. Let's just say that. Which I'm not gonna be doing because I would probably be bombed. Or cancelled. Actually, either of the two. Actually, no. Just imagine, search up Niji Sanji, or at least, Niji cancelled. And if you don't know who that group is, well, imagine Niji Sanji, but, the cancelled ones. Or the easily cancelled ones. Like, for example, Vox, Vulgar, I think that's his name? Yeah, Vulgar. Or Fulgur. Yeah, Fulgur. Not Vulgar. Anna, and finally, Selene. These four absolutely made me laugh the hardest. Especially, Anna or Selene. Or maybe even, or even, well, Fox. Especially during, their, Cards Against Humanity stream. Which, by the way, made me, laugh my freaking ass off. Oh, just imagine, remembering my cousin's face when he heard that, he just goes like, the fuck are you watching? And I go like, oh yeah, just watching VTubers getting ready to be cancelled. Oh god. Yeah, anyway, as after a bit of having fun, and also some horrifying ones, to say the least, his parents would say this. We're here, said, one of them. As Izuku would say this. Oh, thank God, he would say. As one of them would say this. So, we're here now, said, Sona. As he would say this. Yep, it seems so, he would say. As he would stand up, as, his mother would say this. Alright, you can get out now, they would say. I mean, Izuku's dad would say, or, yeah, Izuku's mom would say, I meant. As after saying that, they would start getting out of the car. As the ray of sunlight would basically instantly hit them. As Izuku would say this. Whoa! that's bright, you would say. As one would say this. Yeah, pretty bruh, said, well, it pretty much, well, you know, blinded, Sona, as she would say this. Oh my god, she would say, as she was basically surprised. As Izuku would say this. What do you mean? As Izuku would see that the, house that they're gonna be living in for the, for the rest of summer was a large ass Japanese style mansion. As Izuku would say this. Holy shit, he would say. As one of them would say this. Yeah, you're telling me, said, it pretty much, jaw slacked, wait for a second, what is her name? Jaw slacked, Momo. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, no kidding, he would say. As, one of them would say this, specifically his mom. Alright, kids. She would start, Izuku's mom would start stretching as she would say this. Alright, guys, let's get ready to, maybe go to the beach, he would say. As Izuku would say this. Oh, yeah, let's go, he would say. As everybody else would start leaving to go to the to where the mansion is, as they would start changing their clothes into, their swimming, into their swimming attire. What the fuck is going on over there? After basically changing into swimming trunks, one of them would say this. Specifically, well, Saji. Damn, you look good, he would say. As Izuku would say this. Thanks, Saji, he would say. As he would say this. Dang, I didn't know that you have a freaking six-pack, he would say. As he would say this. Well, yeah. After a while, basically, doing some shit, mostly taking care of some, fallen angels and some stray devils, well, it would obviously turn me into, well, this, but never this, he would say. As, the shot would pan out to see his, gorgeous fucking abs and, body. As, he would also notice something as well, as he would say this. Whoa, I didn't notice that you have a scar, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, got it from, a interesting one, he would say. As he would remember, something, remember something back in his past. So, a few years earlier, as he was basically starting off his life as, as he's, starting off his life basically back in elementary school, as he would go like this. Because I'm now in this new world, maybe I should try and at least, get prepared for anything weird, any, something of that sort, Izuku would say, as he would say this. I know, he would say, as he would start walking through the forest, as he would start looking at something, as he would say this. I've been always wanting to try this, he would say. As after saying that, he would start grabbing a stick, as he would say this. I'm trying and remake my special Queen K, he would say, as he would start wielding the stick similar to his Queen K, basically in a scythe-like, motion, or at least sort of scythe-like motion. He would strike the ground as, after a bit, he would hear something in the distance, as he would say this. What the? He would say, as he would hear, something coming at him at full speed, as he would say this. Alright, guess I should probably, jump out of the way, he would say, as he would use his, Bikaku to basically fly off. Or not really fly off, but more like, basically spring over as he would fly towards the sky, as he would grab onto a bush. Or not really bush, I meant a branch. As after doing so, he would hear, oh, a cute little boy by himself, he would say. Or at least, a voice. As he would notice a girl. A girl with, somewhat insectoid-like features. As he would also have fur around her, neck, as her eyes would seem to be blood red with, an interesting pattern in them. As she would say this. I've been always wanting to try a little bit of fresh meat, especially ones that are still developing, she would say. As he would say this. Whoa, stranger danger, he would say, as she would say this. Oh, don't worry. I'll be gentle, she would say. As her claws would basically, would activate, as she would say this. Now, I've been always wanting to try you, she would say, as she would get ready to strike at Izuku, as Izuku would say this. Well, guess I'll try this then, he would say, as he would activate his Rinkaku, as his Rinkaku would basically come out of his back, but instead of its 8, instead he only has 4, as these 4, Rinkaku tentacles would basically bite down on her, as she'd say, "What?" she would say, as she would try to, get off of him, but, all of her limbs would be torn apart from her, as she would say, my arms, my legs, she would say, as before she can fall, Izuku would grab her, but more like stab her instead of actually grabbing her, by basically using his Bikaku and stabbing her right in the chest, as she would say, "Ow," she would say, as he would say this. I guess you can say that I'm a monster, he would say. As she would say this. Yo, as after saying that, she would disappear. Or at least not really disappear, but more like turn into nothing more than dust. As he would say this. Easy, he would say. As after, god dang it, and after saying so, he would start leaving. As we go back to the present, as he would say this. Yeah, sort of gotten a scar from her, he would say. Or at least sort of, in his mind. As he would start, looking at the scar, as he would say this. Yeah, I should have gotten healing. I should have gotten a healing ability a few years ago, at least. Or at least a few, years earlier, he would say. Too bad, he would say. As he would start looking at Saji, as Saji would say this. So, I was wondering, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah, he would say, as he would say this. Well, are you, perhaps, well, I was, wondering if you can help me with something, he would say. Oh, shiz. Sorry about that, anyway, continue on, as he would say this. You want some help, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah, you see, I'm sort of in love with Tsubaki, he would say, as he would say this. Really, said Izuku, as he would say this. Yeah. A bit surprising, to say the least. As he would say this. Yeah, I always thought that you liked, Sona, he would say. As he would say this. Well, no, I do like her, but I mostly liked her because she was, sort of nice to me. But Tsubaki, let's just say I sort of have a connection with her, he would say. As he would say this. I see. So, you want me to help you out with this, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah. If you want to, at least, he would say. As he would say this. Sure. As he would say this. What? As he would say this. Yeah, sure. I mean, why not, he would say. As he would say this. Really? Then, thank you, he would say. As he would say this. Then, guess I'll start getting ready for that. So, what is your plan exactly? As he would say this. I'll tell you later, he would say. As after saying that, he would start leaving, going outside. As he would say this. Guess I'll be going too as well, he would say. As he would start leaving to go to the beach, or at least the beach-like area. So, after arriving at the beach-like area, it seems that the the place was actually kind of beautiful, with pure white sand, basically, acting as like the base of the, of the beach itself, while the water was almost crystal clear. As he would say this. Whoa, he would say. It's actually kind of beautiful, he would say. As he would hear, "Hey, Izuku," said one of them. As Izuku would look back and would see, several of the girls basically wearing their swimsuits. As one of them, specifically Sona, was wearing a pretty cute, swimsuit that awfully resembles like a... I'm not gonna say it! Actually, just imagine it's something of that, something of this sort. Just imagine this is like, a two-piece, swimsuit with, definitely not saying it. Yeah, just imagine it's that sort. Just picture something in your mind. Oh god. But either way, as she would say this, "Hey, Izuku," she would say, as Izuku would start to blush, as he would say this, "Yeah, Sona," he would say, as she would say this, "So, how do I..." As he would say this, "Well, you look beautiful, he would say, as she would say this. Really? Thank you, she would say, as she would say this. Either way, as she would start looking at the others, as the other girls would start, looking at him, as he would say this. Yeah? He would say, as one of them would say this. Specifically, as Easy would say this. So, what about me, she would say, as she would be wearing, a simple, red swimsuit, as he would say this. You look, fine, he would say. As after saying that, she would say this. Fine? Just fine, she would say, as he would say this. Yeah, as after saying that, one of them would say this, specifically his dad. Hey, guys! As after saying that, they would start looking towards, Izuku's dad, as Izuku's dad would start cooking up, lunch, which was, some barbecue sticks. Or at least, some, some skewers. Basically filled with meats and also some seafood, as you would say this. Hey guys, maybe go to the ocean and basically, or at least go to the waters and basically try it out. It's actually pretty calming to go there. As you would notice his, mother basically, basically on the sands, or at least basically on, well, I guess you say the, sorry about that anyway. Basically it's something, imagine like something that's similar to a, yeah, a beach blanket basically, as she's basically, having a tan, as she's currently relaxing, as he would say this. Sure, he would say. As after doing so, the rest of the others would basically start going into the beach part of the actual, of the island, as they would start, swimming through it. As Izuku would start swimming, basically having a lot of fun, as he would decide to let out, Zenogre to basically have his fun. As an ogre is basically having a lot of fun, basically going to the ocean. Even though every time they basically, goes into the water, it basically causes a little earthquake. But it's still pretty cute though. But we would also see, Ravel there, basically, by the water, as she would say this. Oh, this seems fun, she would say. Because she never really experienced anything like this before. I mean, most of the time she's basically in the, in the castle doing her own thing. Basically just going through the library and not doing anything of the sort. As she would say this. Maybe I should try, actually going into the water, she would say. As she would be revealed to be wearing, a beautiful, a beautiful style, I guess you say, swimming, swimming attire. Basically, imagine, several frills around her, around, the, I guess you say, the bottom half of her swimsuit. While the top half would also have frills, but it also seems to have golden, accents. As she would say this. Now, she would say, as she would try to swim, but fails miserably, as a large wave would basically come in and would basically, throw her back into the beach part, as she would say this. The hell, she would say, as one would say this. Well, it seems that, let's just say something, or at least the ocean absolutely hates you, said, well, said a pretty much, nonchalant, Kaneko. As she would say this. What is that supposed to mean, she would say, as she would say this. Like I said, the ocean hates you, she would say, as she would say this. Like, how exactly, she would say, as she would say this. Well, maybe because you're Phoenix, and also, well, you basically stay in the sky, she would say, as she would say this. Why you, she would say, as they would start arguing a little bit. So, going back with Izuku. As Izuku is currently relaxing in the, into the, relaxing in the sea, well, Zenogre is basically, doggy paddling, beside him, as he would say this. It feels nice, he would say. As after saying that, you would hear, hey guys! As Izuku and the rest of the others would look over, as his dad would say this. Alright, wait for a second. As his dad would say this. The barbecue is ready, he would say, as after saying that, one of them specifically, Kawaner would basically start serving everybody, the large, large ass, barbecue sticks, and also some skewers, basically filled with, seafood. And as for, a certain small little, a small little fallen angel, aka, Millet, would basically be there just like chowing down as she would say this. So good, she would say, as one of them would say this. Yeah, said a somewhat, happy, Inko, as he would say this. Remember back in our, back in our wedding, he would say, as she would say this. Oh yeah, I remember, she would say, as they would start, talking about how their wedding was basically about, like, pretty much fun, including how he was basically, like, doing all of the cooking, or at least some of it, at least, while her, while she was basically apprehensive for him to basically start, to basically cook. Well, he would basically tell her that he has enough time. So, as Izuku is basically, basically eating with the rest of his friends, well, one of them specifically, a somewhat like blushing, well, a somewhat blushing, her, aka, Sona, she would say this. So, Izuku, she would say, as Izuku would say this, yeah, what is it, Sona, he would say, as she would say this, here, she would say, as Izuku would say this, your barbecue, he would say, as she would say this, yeah, why not we share, she would say, as he would say this, as he would start, blushing a little bit, as she would say this, it's fine if you don't want to, I mean, as he would say this, no, I would, want to, but it just feels a little bit weird to say the least, he would say, as she would say this, don't worry, it's just for fun, she would say, as after saying that, she would basically, take out a bite from, from the skewer, as he would say this, oh, sure, he would say, as he would, chomp on, on the same meat, or at least the same, like, well, I guess you say chunk of meat that she basically, took in a bite of. As she would basically, do it once again, but this time basically eating the whole thing, as she would say this. This is an indirect kiss, she would say. As she would start blushing a little bit, as steam would basically come out of her, well, come out of her, ears. As currently nearby, we currently see Kiba and also Zenobia basically just like, somewhat, glaring at Sona with jealousy. As we also currently see, well, Murayama and Katase basically also having jealous looks. And also, we also see nearby, Riaz and also, Issei basically glaring at her as well. Well, we also see both of his parents basically just going like, that's our son, they would say to themselves, as we currently see Izuku and her once again, as they're currently, eating with each other. Basically like having a little date at this point. As we currently see Kaneko's not Kaneko, I meant, Akeno, as she would say this. That's actually kind of cute, she would say. Too bad I couldn't find, a boyfriend yet, she would say. As one of them would say this. Specifically, Kaneko. Yeah, because you're a freaking sadist, she would say. As she would say this. Whatever do you mean, she would say. As she would say this. Whatever, she would say. As we also currently see, a pretty much, a thumbs up, basically like, basically like bro, Saji going like, you go, he would say, like, he would just like, thumbs up, basically like, giving off like that supportive like bro energy, like right now. As after, a bit of eating and also resting and also having a bit of fun in the sun, they would start getting ready to get some sleep. As he would start moving towards back to the, to the large like Japanese style mansion. As after arriving back, wait for a second. So, as we currently see Izuku and also Saji basically in the boys' room, as for his parents are basically in a separate room. Probably doing some stuff. Let's just say relieving stress. As we currently see Izuku and Saji basically wearing some, some normal ass, like, I guess you could say, like, normal ass, like, Japanese wear, I guess you can call it. I don't really know what it's actually called. I think it was called, like, yukata, I think. It's basically one of those, like, things that you would basically see in, like, a, Japanese, hotel or, resort. That is where they're basically, like, in their sleeping wear, I meant. As Izuku could say this. Ah, that was a fun-filled day, he would say, as one would say this. Yeah, agreed, he would say, as Izuku would say this. So, what is your plan to basically get, well, to get her heart? As she would say this. I meant he. Oh, yeah. Oh, you see, I was maybe planning to basically, well, I was maybe trying to plan on, maybe saving her, or at least, or maybe even try to, find a way to basically, confess my love to her, he would say. As he would say this. That sounds like a great idea, but Tsubaki would be pretty hard for you to basically try and, convince that, to basically try and, get her heart, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, I know. But I'll at least try, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, good luck on that. And also, he would say, try not to, cause a bit of trouble for that. I would sometimes hear about, Sabaki, not really the type of girl to basically be messed with, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, and it's a true thing, he would say. But, I'll do anything to try and, get her to love me. I'll do anything. I love her so much, he would say. As he would say this. Oh, and by the way, why do you like her in the first place, he would say. As he would say this. Wait, what? He would say. As he would say this. Yeah, why did you like her? Like, did something happen to you to make you fall in love with her, he would say. As he would say this. Well, yeah, he would say. As he would say this. Then what is it exactly, he would say. As he would say this. Well, as we go to a little flashback. As Izuku would say this. So, why do you actually like her? Did something happen between you so that you can... As he would say this. Well, yeah, he would say. As we go to a little flashback. So, we go before Izuku basically came to, go to, actually gone to, Kuo Academy. As we currently see a first year, Saji, as he's, basically going through the school. As he would say this. Whoa, so, this is Kuo Academy. Huh, looks absolutely nice, he would say. As after a while of looking around, he would see a few people basically, bullying a girl. As one of the girls would say this. Look at her hair, she looks absolutely ugly, said one of them. As one of them would say this. Yeah, how pathetic, said one of them. As one of them would say this. Yeah, I can't believe that she's trying to become a member of the student council. Tch, don't make me laugh, he would say. As the fighting would continue on, as, Saji would basically walk in as he would say this. Hey, stop that, he would say. As one of them would say this. Oh look, a little hero, said one of them. As he would say this. Or at least one of them. I mean, he does look cute, but not cute enough to basically be in my little group, he would say. As one of them would say this. Come on, girls, let's leave. As one of them would say this. Yeah, I think that's enough, said one of them. As for, Saji, he would start walking up to the girl, as he would say this. Hey, are you okay? As before he can say anything else, the girl would say this. Thank you, she would say. As he would say this. What is your name, he would say. As she would say this. Tsubaki, she would say. As he would say this. Wait, you're my upperclassman. As she would say this. Yeah, thank you, she would say. As he would say this. You're welcome, but, I did see you get hurt, so, as she would say this. Yeah, I know. I'm still pretty happy that you decided to save me, she would say. As he would say this. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a problem, he would say. As she would basically give off a smile, as she would say this. Now, I should be leaving. Hope to see you again, she would say. As after saying that, he would say this. Damn, she's that... As he would start blushing a little bit, as he would say this. Never mind that. I need to get back to class, he would say. As we go to, a little, time skip. As we currently see him, now in the second year, as he's currently being bullied by a few people, as one of them would say this. Great, this is the little goody two-shoes, said one of them. as the girl from before would say this. So, how does it feel to basically be our new punching bag? She would say, as she would say this. You assholes, she would say, as she would say this. Oh, don't call me an asshole. You're the one who basically stopped my little fun time with her, she would say, as she would say this. Now, get him, goon, she would say, as before they can do anything else, do it here. Stop, all of you, a girl's voice would basically be heard, as you would look over, as you would see Tsubaki. Now, she's currently about, she's now currently in the student council, as she would say this. It seems that you need to be disciplined, she would say. As one of them would say this. Yeah, so what? Said one of them. As she would say this. Well, I think it's better for all of you to basically go back to your classes, or... As before she can say anything else, she would basically grab something from her, from her pocket, and it seems to be a booklet, saying, people to expel. As one of them would say this. Don't you dare, said one of them, specifically the girl. As she would say this. Oh really, she would say. Even though that your family is considered as the, a powerful corporation, but in this school, you're merely just a normal student. So I should suggest that all of you should just behave and go back to your classes. Or do you want to go to your daddy's place and let's just say, no longer be allowed there ever again because of your expulsion to this wonderful and also prestigious school. Prestigious school, she would say. As one of them would say this. Why you, said one of them. As one of them would say this. So what should we do, said one of them. As she would say this. Yeah, get her, she would say. As, after saying that, she would basically be, get ready to be attacked. As Saji would basically get out of there, not really get out of there, but more like goes in front of her, as he would say this. I'm not letting you hurt her, he would say, as he would start getting punched and, kicked around by them, as one of them would say this. Oh, being the shiny knight in, oh yeah, being the so-called, knight in shining armor. How pathetic, said one of them, as they would start punching him in the stomach and also kicking him in the ground. As, after doing this, she would say this. It seems that I would just have to be telling, President about this, she would say. As after saying that, she would start leaving. As nobody would notice her, as currently all of them are basically being down Saji. As he would say this. It hurts, he would say. As after saying that, we go to a few months later after that little incident. As the students would basically be around, a different, would be around, I guess you say, around, a different area, or more specifically, in their classroom. As we currently see Saji basically, basically being, currently no longer, bandaged up by all of the attacks that those bullies basically did that to him. As he would see this. Ow, it hurts, he would say. As one would say this. Hey dude, what happened to you? You've been, absent for a few days now, he would say. As he would say this. Sir got into a fight, he would say. As one would say this. I see. As before they can say anything else, they would hear something about, the girl basically being, no longer attending the school. Apparently that's what the teacher said. And apparently the reason why is because of all of the bullying. And let's just say her family, let's just say they were not happy. And after hearing about this, Saji would be surprised. As Saji would say this. Wait, what? He would say. Well, that is certainly a surprise, he would say. But still, he would say, shaking his head. As after saying that, they would basically continue on until it was basically now lunchtime. As he's currently talking to his friends, as you would hear, Hey, Saji, said one of them, as all of them would basically look behind and would see, Tsubaki, as all of them would say this. Wait, Tsubaki-chan, said one of them, as one of them would say this. Wait, Tsubaki, said, Saji, as she would say this. Oh, hello there, she would say, as she would say this. Hello there, he would say, as she would say this. Can you please come with me for a second, she would say, as everybody was a bit surprised after hearing that. And so, After saying this, both Saji and also Tsubaki would basically be alone. As she would say this. Hmm. I'm guessing those bullies are no longer here, said, well, said Tsubaki. As she would say this. Yeah, so you know what happened to them? As he would, as she would say this. Yep. Well, it was my doing after all, she would say, as he would say this. Wait, what? He would say, as she would say this. Yeah, those people were basically trying to attack you. Not only that, they hurted you just because you basically saved me, she would say. As she would say this. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty thankful for you basically saving me. I appreciate that, he would say. As she would say this. Let's just say it's sort of like, well, a way of repaying you, she would say. As she would say this. Repaying me, he would say. As she would say this. Yeah, you did after all save me back in your first year here, she would say. As he would say this. Oh, yeah. He would say while laughing, as she would say this. Now, I should probably be leaving. And also, try not to get in trouble, she would say, as she would give off a nice smile. As, Saji would start, feeling his, heart thumping every time when he hears that. And including that smile as well. As, after that, we go back to the present day, as he would say this. Yeah, that's how I fell in love with her, he would say, as he would say this. Dang. So I didn't know that you actually liked her that way, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah. Huh. I always loved her. I always did love her. Especially what she did to me. That is why I want to confess to her. My heart can't handle it. I just want to say what I think. I just want to say that I love her, he would say. As after saying this, he would say this. Then, make sure to try not to, try not to cause a bit of trouble after, your little confession, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, so, can you help me with that, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, after all, you're basically like my best friend now, he would say. As he would say this. Thanks. He would smile, as he would say this. Now, about your, plan, he would say. As he would say this. Oh, right, when we probably go back to, go back to Kuo, I'm maybe going to confess to her on the, on a special tree, he would say, as he would say this. Wait, are you talking about the, the cherry blossom tree? As he would say this. Yeah, I heard that if you were to confess to it, both of your lives would be changed for better, he would say. Wait for a second. As he would say this. So, you're planning to confess to her on that specific tree, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah. Just wish me luck, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah. And, by the way, what are the other things that you're planning to do when, if you're trying to, win her heart, he would say. As he would say this. Well, I'm maybe planning to, make a special dinner for her. When we get back, he would say, as he would say this. So you're telling me that you need help with that, as he would say this. Yeah, I'm not really good with cooking, he would say, as Izuku would just sigh, as he would say this. Guess I'll be training you then, he would say, as he would say this. Really? Cool, he would say, as he would say this. So, anyway, if you're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be going back to, going back to Kuo first. That's where we're going to be training, he would say, as he would say this. Sure, he would say, as after saying this, they would start getting ready for tomorrow, as before they can actually go, before they can actually go to sleep, they would hear, hey, Izuku, Saji, as they would hear the voice of, what is her name? Of Issei, as Izuku would say this. What is it, Issei, he would say. As she would say this, well, we want want you and Saji to basically come to our room. As he would say this. What is it? Said Saji, as he would say this. As another voice would be heard. Specifically, you know, well, Kiba, as she would say this. Well, we want to invite you for a little game of truth or dare, she would say. As after saying that, we're gonna be ending this episode right off here. So yeah, this is where we're gonna be ending off the episode. And so, I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!